Scaling your law firm doesn't have to be difficult. It's all about mastering a few key strategies, systems, and mindsets. Welcome to the Scalable Law Podcast, where we talk about how you can increase profit in your pocket and time in your calendar. My name is Carolee Fontanelli, and I have successfully scaled my firm so that it doesn't solely rely on me. Now I love teaching other law firm owners how to do the same. Let's transform your business starting now. Welcome to another episode of the Scalable Law Podcast. I am your host, Carolee, and on this podcast we talk all things scaling your law firm, growing and creating a firm that brings you more profit and freedom. You might be new to the podcast, and if you are, I'd love to give you a little intro about myself. So the first thing you need to know about me is that I am a lawyer, and I started and grew a law firm here on the Gold Coast and in Brisbane for around 12 years. And last year in 2025, I sold my law firm for a very handsome sum of money. And now I help law firm owners to scale and grow their law firms so that they can have more profit and freedom as well. My law firm was at times really, really onerous. It was really difficult and I really struggled a lot. But then when I cracked the code and put the right systems in place, started working smarter and not harder, my firm really thrived and flourished. And so did I, both personally and professionally, and also financially, which made a massive difference to me. I went through periods when I was running my law firm of being very burnt out and really resenting my firm. So I know what it's like to struggle in a law firm. And I know what it's like to wonder if you'd be better off being employed, or maybe I'd be better off just being solo rather than scaling, because scaling, of course, has a whole lot of issues that comes along with it if you don't do things correctly in the first place, which I spent so many years trying to work out. In the last 5 years or more of running my law firm, I didn't really practice law myself. In the last years, I really stepped up into the leadership part of the firm and really stepped into the role of being the CEO of the law firm. My goal was to create enough profit that I could pay off my house, live a really nice lifestyle, have enough freedom that I could travel a whole lot, and then to eventually sell my firm. I was going to wait a little bit longer, but I ended up getting a really amazing offer, which I could not resist taking. And so now I do not have my law firm and don't run it anymore. However, I do love helping lots of law firm owners to scale and run their firms so that they can also reach their professional and personal goals. So that's a little bit about me and how I got to be coaching other law firms on how to grow and scale. Today, I'm going to delve into a really cool topic, which is the 7 things that I wish I knew before I started my law firm. I don't help law firm owners as they are starting out. I usually take on law firm owners once they have started to grow and scale their law firm and things start to get really tricky. But it's really great to have a few foundational things in place as you're starting your law firm. So I thought that this would be a really helpful topic. Now, if you're already in the throes of running a law firm, this is also a great topic as well, because it's things that you can fix now. So let's get straight into it. So the number one thing that I really wish that I knew before I started my law firm is that revenue growth does not equal freedom. Making more money doesn't automatically make your life easier. I was really focused on getting more money in my account and growing the firm as much as I could. In the early days, when you're sitting around the solo revenue point of between $20,000 and $40,000 a month, it's really tough because you're doing everything yourself. You're running every department in the law firm, and the law firm completely relies on you. The only way to get out of that is to grow the revenue so that you can employ solicitors and all of the onus of and pressure of files not be only on your back. But the truth is that growth often increases the pressure before it reduces it. And without structure, what higher revenue usually means is more decisions, more clients, and more dependency on you. If you're not duplicating yourself well in the law firm, for example, you're employing a whole lot of junior lawyers or junior support, then you're going to add even more pressure. So it's really important that those first few hires are really great hires where you're getting people's expertise and you're able to duplicate yourself more than you are when you start hiring juniors, for example. The other thing is that many law firm owners chase revenue, and they then feel confused when the burnout worsens and the work becomes more and more onerous. Freedom comes from how the firm runs, not how much it earns. The problem with being solo is that everything is reliant on you, whether it's the financial part of the business and accounts, whether it's operations, whether it is the legal service delivery itself or marketing. And the reality is, as a solo practitioner, you're not going to be able to earn as much, as in you're not going to be able to have as much revenue or bill as much as you did as a senior associate when you didn't have all of those other responsibilities. And the busier you get, the less freedom you have. In fact, all you've done is bought yourself a job. And that's really what you want to stay away from. You have to get through that hump where you are then creating revenue, and the revenue does actually create freedom for yourself because you are hiring well and you are positioning yourself in the firm as the law firm owner and CEO rather than the worker bee doing all of the things and wearing all of the hats. You have to realize that there are going to be points in your growth that are going to be really tough and you're going to be super, super busy. But if you set yourself up really well and have the goals all planned out and the strategy on how you're going to be hiring and to duplicate yourself so that you're not going to be doing all of the work yourself, then you will get into a space where it is smooth sailing and that you do start getting more freedom. But you're going to have to get really busy first. So as long as you're aware of that and you know that you can build past that point. I think the worst point for my law firm was probably around a $700,000 to $800,000 revenue. It made me really super busy. I had no systems and processes in place. I had grown myself a really tough and big job because now not only was I working on files, managing all of the things in the business, but I was also managing a small team. That's when it became the heaviest, and that's probably where I felt the most burnt out. And so it's getting past that point, and the only way to get past that point is having the right structures in place, so systems and processes to help run the firm smoothly without you. Unfortunately for me, it took me a while to sort that out. But for the people who are in my accelerator program, I help them through that point so they can get past it really, really fast. And all of my systems and processes are templated, and they get to have those as part of the program, which cuts the time down by so much when you're implementing systems and processes. So the number 2 thing that I wish I knew before I started my law firm is that you are the first bottleneck you need to fix. I wish I knew that my work ethic was not the problem, but my role was. I was trying to do everything, and you should not do everything yourself. And so many law firms that I speak to are doing the exact same thing. They are a bottleneck in their firm, and they are making a big mistake by not getting off some of the tasks in their firm. Often we keep doing low-end tasks that might cost only $30 or $40 an hour for someone else to do for us. And often we are the worst at delegating because lawyers are particular and we think that we're the only ones who can do it the way we want it done. That is absolutely not true. And that goes back to the systems and processes that I was speaking about before. If you've got systems and processes inside your law firm built in, then everyone knows what their role is. It's super clear and they know how to do the tasks without asking you. Let me ask you this right now. How many things have you got flagged or pinned in your emails that you just haven't got to yet and someone's waiting for you to get back to them before they can continue their job? This creates friction. It's really frustrating working for someone like that. And it's really frustrating being a client of someone who's a bottleneck as well. And often things in your law firm, when it comes to working on the business rather than in it, those are the things that get the least attention, and you're constantly behind in actually scaling and building the firm because you've got a whole lot of stuff that's just screaming at you, needing attention, and it's not actually helping you grow the business. So what can you get off your plate now? Who have you got in your team who might be able to take that on for you, or do you need other help? The benefit of today is that we can get other help really easily. We can get remote help. We can work with people online. We can work with people for only 10 hours a week to help us with things, which is awesome. I've got a variety of VAs in my team and they don't all work full time, and it works out really cost effective, but it means that the work is off my plate. Remember that you are only one person and you can't grow past the capacity of the law firm owner. You're never going to grow unless you start delegating and giving some of that work away so that you are no longer the bottleneck. So, number 3, systems are about reducing decisions, not control. I think that there can be a reluctance to put systems in place because it can feel like they are restrictive, but they are not restrictive. They are protective, and they also help the rest of the firm to run smoothly without you so that the whole firm is not relying on you. So again, back to the bottleneck. If you want to stop being the bottleneck in the firm, you need to start putting systems and processes in place so that you can start having more freedom in the firm. So what systems do is they reduce the mental load and all of the emotional decision making that you might be making as a law firm owner. As a law firm owner, believe me, I know what it's like to get decision fatigue. It's a massive load and a weight on your shoulders. Whereas when you have got systems and processes in place, the decision has been made and things get done without you having to be there for every step of the way. They also help your team know exactly what's expected of them. Most team members want to do a good job, but because we don't have systems and processes in place, they then rely on you and ask you how to do something or what would you like done with it. The systems also protect consistency, not just for your clients, but for your staff as well. It's the old cheeseburger story that McDonald's make. Whether you're in Hong Kong or Sydney or the Gold Coast, your cheeseburger is exactly the same. It's because there's a system on the ingredients, how they build it, how long it should take to build it, how warm it's got to be by the time it hits the customer, all of those sorts of things. And so we want your law firm to be like a cheeseburger. All the little components we want to build out exactly the same so that it is more consistent for clients and for your team members as well. The other thing is that good systems make delegating safer, not riskier. You can delegate tasks to even new team members because there's a system and a process in place and they can rely on that rather than relying on you. Most resistance to systems is the fear of losing control, but this is not logical. You're actually giving more control because it's exactly how you want it done, and you're not the one having to speak of it all the time. The system and the process is in place, and you are able to be fully in control without having to micromanage anything, which makes the ideal scenario. Where do you start? When you are thinking about systems and processes, you can just start from the small stuff. So start from how your receptionist answers the phone, how they open a file, how they hand over a phone call to a lawyer, how they book an appointment, and then go from there. What does it look like to do an initial appointment? What are the processes along the way? When does a client actually engage? So this is the beginning of building out your systems and processes. At Scalable Law in the Accelerator program, we have got about 300 pre-built systems for your law firm. That's what people get when they come into the program. So the sooner you start implementing those systems, the better off you are going to be. And the earlier you start doing it, the better. So if you are a solo, absolutely start building out your systems now. Don't wait until you start onboarding team members and the chaos starts happening. We want to get that done as soon as possible. So one of the things that I wish that I had really known when it comes to the systems is that the sooner you start building them, the better everything is going to be. So number four, and what I wish I knew earlier, is that hiring early without structure is really expensive. People do not fix chaos. They actually create more, and then they feel it as well. You really need to make sure that you have got all the systems in place before you start hiring. So hiring too early without clear roles creates stress on both sides, stress for the law firm owner and stress for the employee. So make sure that you've got really clear roles, lots of clarity around that, which all comes back to your systems and processes as well. Talented people struggle with unclear environments. So it's really important that you have a lot of clarity. And what I used to do when I didn't have my systems and processes is I would say, okay, we do it this way. And then 4 months later, I would say, okay, we do it this way. Because I'm only human and I make the mistake of saying it one way one time and then saying it a different way another time, because I have forgotten how we do things as well when you haven't done that task, say, for 4 months. This causes problems in the team because then they think, well, I did it this way last time and now she's saying do it this way. So having that clarity is so important. Performance issues are often structure issues, not actually people issues. It's really important that you get this leadership piece right. And part of the leadership piece is having the right structure in place. Leadership starts with clarity. We need to make sure we're really clear on what our expectations are right from the beginning. So having all of those position descriptions in place, role clarity, and then processes and systems built in around each of those tasks and roles is so, so important. I definitely did this way too late. As I said before, life got more chaos as I grew the firm. So 700, 800,000, I had a couple of team members, no systems and processes, no role clarity. And then I just kept adding people, which just kept adding to the problems until I was really burnt out. So don't let that happen to you. Make sure you get the systems and processes in place and start hiring. Number 5, pricing problems are usually confidence problems. Underpricing is really about the market. And honestly, I talk to so many law firm owners who are underselling and underpricing their hourly rate or their fixed fee products. So absolutely make sure that you price yourself correctly. Just because you're a solo doesn't mean you deserve to be undercutting yourself. Putting your prices up to the right amount is the absolute best thing that you can do for your firm. I think why people do this is they fear client rejection and it drives pricing decisions. The reality is that you don't have to be the cheapest in order to get clients. Clients are going to come to you because you're awesome and you're changing their lives for the better and impacting them with the legal services that you have. Discounting often compensates for unclear scope or process, so make sure you have those scopes correctly priced out, and if it's out of scope, know where those boundaries are so that you can give a new cost agreement as clients want more in the service. Absolutely do not underprice yourself. If you think you're underpricing yourself now, why don't you reach out to me? I'll give you an idea of fees and what people are charging for different services, whether it's fixed fee services or your hourly rate. I work with a lot of law firms, so I know what people are charging for different services. And often I come across law firms who are undercharging, and one of the first things that I'll get them to do is to get the confidence to put their prices up. Number 6, what I wish I knew before I started my law firm was that busy is not the same as productive. Busyness hides inefficiency extremely well. This is not just for you as a solo, but also as you grow a team. You can have a team who's super busy and super stressed, but then they're not performing. So you really have to work out what's going on there. We want results. That's why we're running a law firm, and you need and deserve to get results in your law firm. Full calendars mask poor workflows, mask inefficiencies. Stressed lawyers, they're stressed out, but then you look at the production and it's just not there. So why? You've got to really delve in and have a look at what is really going on for yourself and your team. You need to have space in your law firm in order to grow, not constant motion and constant busyness. What you really need is time for strategic work. And that's what really grows your firm, is stepping away and working on the business rather than in it. I realized that my firm was running me and not the other way around when I was absolutely burnt out. I would come home exhausted and I was paying my junior more than I was paying myself. I knew at that point that something had to change because this busyness was not actually serving me. I was working harder and not smarter. So work out what's actually going on in the firm, why you're running around in circles, so that you can fix this problem and become a whole lot more productive. Lastly, this is the thing that I wish I knew at the beginning of my practice. Your law firm should support your life, not compete with it. There is no prize for sacrifice without sustainability. Honestly, this is the long game. You might be in your firm for 5, 10, 20, 30, or even 40 years. So we want to make sure that your law firm is running really, really well and supporting your life and your goals in your life rather than the other way around. Many law firms normalize exhaustion as success, and it absolutely does not have to be like that. I was that person who was exhausted and putting out fires all the time. And then I made significant changes to my law firm so that I could only work, if I wanted, 10 hours a week in my law firm. My law firm did not need me. It supported my life and it didn't compete with it in the end in the last 5 years or so. Prior to that, it absolutely competed with it. I would come home, be grumpy, be trying to do dinner and the kids, get back on my emails, and on Friday, you're just absolutely exhausted. That is not what you want. And many times I'm talking to law firm owners who are working weekends as well. If that is you, you absolutely can fix this, particularly if you join the Accelerator program. This is one of the things that we focus on. We focus on profit and we focus on freedom because we want you to have a life that you really love. Your law firm should be providing you with that financial security and freedom security as well so that you can really enjoy your life. So intentionally designing the life that you really want is where we start in the Accelerator program. Growth feels really different when it aligns with your life and not guilt. It's awful when you constantly feel guilty that you should be doing something else, but you're just chilling, for example. I do encourage you to really change that mindset around your law firm. Make sure that it's not competing with your life and your time with your family. So let me run through the 7 things that I wish I knew before I started my law firm. First one is revenue growth does not equal freedom. Second one, you are the bottleneck and you need to fix it. Number 3, systems are about reducing decisions, not control. Number 4, hiring early without structure is expensive. So make sure you get that structure in place. Number 5, pricing problems are usually confidence problems. You know that's true. Number 6, busy is not the same as productive. And number 7, your law firm should absolutely support your life and not compete with it. I hope that you've enjoyed the podcast today. I have certainly enjoyed being back on the airwaves. Until next time, bye for now. Thank you for listening to the Scalable Law Podcast, brought to you by the Scalable Business Lounge. If you would love to know how you can get more clients without relying on referrals, head over to scalablelaw.com to watch my free masterclass. Until next time, you have got this.